Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Denver Psychic School podcast and show. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Andrew Fritz. I'm one of the owners of this school, and I'm currently a teacher.
And I'm Heather Fritz. I'm the better half of this one. We are equal partners in this school.
That doesn't sound very equal. I'm the better half, but this is totally equal.
Totally equal.
Yeah.
Yes, he's the teacher currently. I am not the teacher in the school yet. I'm currently in a teacher training, gearing up to become a teacher. But I do offer readings and healings currently. I will be out of my teacher training in July, and then I will probably be starting some of my own classes.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, so we just moved into our office in Denver, Sequoia Square. And people do kind of like a video tour at some point. But we basically have kind of like 3 rooms. There's like a hallway that leads to a bathroom, which is kind of nice to have. But we're kind of in the room right now where we'll do the podcast and we'll have private readings and energy healings and astral body healings. And then we have another room that's kind of designated for like classes. And then there's a room that's kind of like the reception, kind of open area where
you feel received.
Yeah, exactly. You're welcome. Even if it's online, so we teach online as well. Most of it is online at the moment. What do we have going on right now? So I'm teaching a body of glass training. It's kind of a graduate level training. The focus is really neutrality, finding neutrality to kind of really challenging energies in this world.
Really like the more difficult, dark stuff too in the body of glass, right?
Yeah, it tends to be a little heavier, but it's really, anytime you do deeper healing work, it tends to be even more rewarding. So it's challenging through the process, but kind of that end results or kind of what you get to have and the shifts that take place are kind of bigger and you get to have more. So that's always nice. So we got the body of glass.
Body of glass.
Yeah. Body of glass training. Got a Going to the Edge training, which is kind of like a graduate level for kind of like a men's clairvoyant training. That's going. That's fun. It's a lot of. I enjoy that one. What else do we have?
Of course you do. It's all men.
Yeah.
Manly energy anyway.
Yeah, focusing on masculine energy is really what it's about. And then what else do we have here?
You are teaching
teacher training
and a clairvoyant training,
and just a solo clairvoyant training. So got four trainings going on, which is pretty cool. It's a great way to just kind of start off. I thought it was going to be a little of a slow start. We just kind of took off with a bang and kind of see how things go from there. So, how do you feel about the space? What do you so far?
I love it. I've been enjoying decorating it. Of course, I'm a nester, so I've got plants and things and furniture, and I'm just enjoying that process of it. Using my femininity in that way. I'm currently in a women's training, not with our school, but with a different school because we don't offer a women's training. And then I'm in a teacher training and all that jazz. Let's see, is there anything else I'm involved in?
Well, we will offer a women's training probably at a later time.
Yes, it will be later. Once I finish my teacher training and get myself geared up. I'm definitely not there yet because I'm still learning my own femininity.
Right.
So I'm definitely not in a space to start telling everybody else how to use their femininity because I don't know how to use my own yet. But no, I love the space. I love that we have a place for healing and private sessions and then a different space for a classroom. We've taught online before. I guess technically you have since I'm not a teacher. But I've done readings online, and I prefer in-person, and I know you also prefer in-person. So that's why we opened a physical space, is that we just really wanted to get back to human interaction and community, because with like COVID, I mean, this is already a very taboo thing as it is, like telling people, hey, I'm psychic. Like there's a lot of energy on that word anyway. So trying to find a community in that regard is already very difficult. And then COVID happened and everybody was kind of stuck at home and everything went online. And so at least personally speaking for me, my hope for this school is that we'll get back to community and get back to people and get back to just that strong bonding, because doing energy work on Zoom versus in person is a completely different experience.
Yeah, no,
Still
it
very
is.
effective, but very different.
Yeah, I remember a lot of the trainings that I went through. The school I went to in Chicago, and I enjoyed it being in person. That worked for kind of for that time period of my life. You know, but yeah, it's nice to have kind of a hybrid option where we can do stuff in person and online, kind of have the best of both worlds. It's not that it's either or. It's both, which is nice. So we have that now, and it's been kind of a journey. We kind of had the intention of opening a physical space.
Back in 2018?
Back in
2018, 2019?
yeah, kind of before maybe just beginning of pandemic. Before the pandemic.
Yeah, it was 2019.
And that delayed it.
Yeah.
And
it was going to be a yoga studio, because I am a certified yoga teacher, so it was going to be a dual space in that regard. I'm not currently teaching any yoga classes, but I'm working on that. This is not going to be a yoga space, just to be clear, but I'm working on getting back into teaching yoga as well. But yeah, I was going to say something and I totally lost it, because you said something that sparked, and I just totally lost it.
No, that's okay.
Oh, with being online. Yes, this is Denver Psychic School, but if you're not in Denver, don't worry. You can still have access to us.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so it's a denverpsychicschool.com. Yeah, pretty much everything we do in person is online and all that. So if you could be in Colorado and be like, going to the city downtown is too much of a hike for me, you can do it online. If you're out of state, out of country, who knows, off the planet, I don't know. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
You're an alien.
So all the aliens out there watching, yeah.
But we do have a little sidebar topic that we did want to touch on today. We wanted to introduce ourselves, introduce our school, let you know our intentions and our mock-ups for this space. But we do have a topic we do want to hit on. And what is that topic today?
Control. Yeah. I'm sure there's no energy on that.
Definitely not.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been, it's one of the energies we're kind of taking a look at in the body of glass training. Kind of, as I mentioned earlier, it's looking at kind of tough energies and kind of finding your space with it and neutrality with it. And yeah, it's, of course, as a teacher, I'll have my own kind of growth period about it. And, I was noticing kind of throughout the week leading up to teaching the class, it became more heightened of, I want to control certain situations. And particularly kind of around my day job, there's opportunities to advance and progress in it. And I could tell there's kind of an aspect of myself that's really wanting to control that process. And I was becoming more aware of it, looking in meditation. And, I was kind of looking at, hey, well, what's my next step with this? That's something we teach in the clairvoyant training. Sometimes if you become aware of, the limitation or whatever it is, then we kind of take a look at, what's the next step? How do we move forward from this, right? We don't want to just dwell in the negative or the limit. It's good to be aware of that. But hey, what's the step needed to move on? And I was kind of, as a clairvoyant, right? A clairvoyant is just someone that sees clearly. They can see energy in the form of colors and symbols, and a lot of times mental image pictures. So I take a look at images. And it's kind of similar to being like in a movie theater where you're sitting down in the seats and there's this giant screen out there, and then the movie starts playing. So, clairvoyance, it's more about kind of still frame shots. And so I was kind of in meditation, my eyes are closed, meditation, turning within, and kind of working with that clairvoyant ability that, we all have, and just kind of looking at, hey, what's the next step? And kind of a funny type of image. Some of these pictures can be very metaphorical. And it was just an image of myself in a car. and it was in the ocean. And so I'm in this car, I'm in this ocean, and it's kind of the waves, and it's kind of rocky. And it started off as me having the death grip on the steering wheel, and then the next step was it was just me letting go of the steering wheel, and so that's kind of like letting go of control, kind of just surrendering to the moment, to whatever is happening, and just kind of letting it ride, so to speak. And that can be terrifying. So it takes a little bit of courage to just kind of, okay, I'm going to trust, and I'm going to trust the process, and which is interesting. That's going to be a topic I'm teaching on tonight. Is about trust. And so then it's trusting what? Can put our trust in many different things, right? But trusting spirit. And so one aspect of that might be kind of our higher selves. That part of ourselves that's not limited to this lifetime, that kind of has that bird eye view that can really kind of help guide us along, so to speak. So instead of being in that car trying to, I gotta control everything, just kind of, okay.
Gritted teeth, white knuckle it.
Yeah. Just kind of, all right, I'm just gonna let go, and I'm gonna let my higher self kind of take charge on this one and just kind of trust it. And it's a little scary, but hey, not a problem. So.
Not a problem. Sure. I believe that.
Yeah.
No, and the reason we chose control for our topic is it's been a theme all week. I've been in my own things about trying to control my anxieties about my personal life. And it's like, well, this and this and this. And it's like there's so many things that you want to have control over. And I think that's where anxiety really stems from, at least for myself. My anxiety stems from just wanting control over things that I genuinely have no control over, like the weather or traffic or whatever, other people. No control over those people, but they're always going to do the things that seem to inconvenience me. No, I was reading and that in just my personal life, but then I was reading a client earlier in the week, and she was telling me about, people in her life who are causing her so much stress, and traffic causing her stress. And it's so funny you talked about your image with the white knuckling of the steering wheel, because when I was reading her, that was the image, was her in her car cussing out everybody in the other lane, like, get out of my way, you're ruining my flow, ah! And I was looking at her next step, and her next step was, you can only control yourself and your own car. You don't need to worry about the other people in the other lane. They're in their lane. They're controlling their car. You can't control their car. The only thing you have control over in this situation is yourself and your own car. So there's no sense in worrying about their lane or their car or them, because they're not in your lane. They're not in your car. You only have control over your own stuff. So that was a very clear, solid message that I got. When I read, I feel like I get answers for myself as well as for the client. And that was a very strong, it was like, ding, 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 ding. Hey, Heather, you really need to listen to this. So when I was reading that, I was like, yes, I see. Literally, I see. And I was like, okay. So it was one of those things where I was like, all right, I acknowledge that this also applies to me, that it's not like, oh, I need to be so concerned about things that are out of my control. It's very much, the only thing I have control over is me and what I have control over. So I have control over my diet. I have control over my sleep schedule. I have control over my exercise routine. These are tiny things, but it's I get so anxious about all these other things that don't matter. The only thing that I need to worry about is the things I have control over. And so it's kind of been a comfort for me. I know for you were just saying that it's, you're like, oh, I just need to trust the process. For me, it was very comforting. It's like, oh, what a relief. I don't need to worry about any of that other crap. I only have to worry about me and my crap. And crap that I have control over. And so it's like, oh, if I don't have control over it, then why worry about it?
Yeah, I think it's sometimes surrender kind of letting go of control. It's scary, but it's I think learning to kind of get out of your own way and kind of receive and trust in spirit, and then I think that's when kind of mock-ups are able to come in a little more gracefully or effortlessly instead of kind of resisting and trying to control everything, and it just kind of jams things up even more. I think, and it makes it a rougher of a process. Whereas if you can have the courage to work through some of that fear and try to control it all, although again a little scary, but I think things will kind of open up, kind of create some space, and then you start to bring in things that maybe you're needing or desiring or whatever it is. So there's that, and some of the stuff you were kind of talking about was, there's all these things happening in the world, that are close to us or things that are
far away
for whatever it is, but we'll have kind of these inevitable reactions that occur within us about those things. And again, going back to control, you can't really control those things. It's just, those things are going to happen. You can't really,
Right.
It's not really getting rid of that. It's just kind of having the awareness and the neutrality of those things taking place. Of just, here's this reaction happening, and being aware of it, and then not dousing lighter fluid onto it and then just amplifying it and make it all much worse. And that's something we naturally do when we get into these disagreements and arguments, and we've,
Oh yeah, we lose friendships,
Yeah, and then there's
wars
and
there's wars.
Yeah. So hey, I mean, yeah.
No big deal. Just some wars, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, whether the war is in your own self or between you and another person, or we're talking about within a nation or countries or the planet, whatever it is.
Right.
But so the idea is that, just having the awareness of, hey, these reactions are happening. It's totally normal.
And just returning to be like, what do I have control over?
Well, just letting it be. So not dousing the lighter fluid on it and just going, okay, this is totally fine what's taking place. I am not the reaction. It's just a reaction that's taking place inside. And let it kind of fade. And then, okay, that's over, and now I can kind of move on, and I'm not stuck in all that. I'm not getting caught up in all that.
Yeah. Or just like dwelling on the negative, like you're saying, like just let it fizzle out, but also like dwelling in like hopelessness. Like you're talking about like anger and those reactions, but there's also a hopelessness.
Well, whatever emotion it is.
Yeah.
You can get caught in any kind of emotion, and I mean, if it's not amusement or like joy or happiness or those kind of higher, what we perceive as higher emotions, if you will, just going, wait a second, what's going on here, and just start to find some neutrality. Maybe in certain traditions, we might call it like the middle path or the middle way, where it's not good or bad or right or wrong or having resistance or judgment. It's just kind of like, let me kind of find, it's like kind of the level when you're trying to put something on the wall and you got that little thing, that little bubble, and you're trying to find it right in the center. That's kind of what you're doing. It's just kind of, hey, let me find my center on this, and just, okay, there's this thing happening. I'm just going to find my center and just let it be, and just, and then just kind of let it pass. And that's easier said than done, but it's something that we've learned and that we teach, and we're still practicing on our own.
Still learning, yes.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned mock-ups earlier.
Yeah.
You mentioned like how just trusting and just finding neutrality. It allows for mock-ups to come in. That's another aspect of control, is that we like money. Just hot topic. Money. You're like, I want more money. How do I get more money? Most people want to try to plan out exactly how they're going to get more money, whether it's getting a raise or finding a better job or whatever. They have a very narrow view and a sense of control of how they're going to get that money.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily what you need. You don't need to have control over it. You just have to be open to opportunities, right? Like it's not so much about like having control of it over it.
Yeah, I mean, I think most people in society will, and if they're kind of going on the theme of money, that there's this linear thinking process about it. So, okay, I need more money, so then I need to get a higher paying job, or I need to, oh no, I need to take some time and go get a degree or a higher degree so that
That's
once
it.
I have that or this, I get all these little certifications, and then over time, then I can get this better job or more money or whatever it is.
Mm.
And, that does work, but kind of what we teach and practice ourselves and work on continuously is that creating a mock-up, just a technique, visual technique, kind of in your meditative state. And it really starts with imagination. If you can't really imagine it, more than likely you're probably not going to create it. So then once you're able to kind of start to see it clearly, and that's the thing we focus on really is clairvoyance and kind of being able to see clearly, and just be able to kind of generate kind of an image in your mind about, hey, this is what I'm needing or wanting at the moment. In this case, say, oh, it's money. And then, kind of being open. It's when you look at this, the idea is not coming from a place of lack. It's kind of just, I'm seeing myself already having it, experiencing it, whatever it is, in this case, money. And then just, I'm just going to send it off to the universe. And however it might come back, just being open to how it comes back, because then this is where it cuts out that linear thinking process. It has to be this particular way, this particular time, or whatever. Just being open to however it comes. You don't know how it's going to come. And that's kind of the tricky part, or tough part for people, that no, it has to be, I need it this certain amount of time, it has to come this certain way, and kind of just being open to however it comes. Because there's many different ways money will come in, and just letting that happen. That's tough.
Right, because I've heard stories from people, they were like, oh, I didn't know how I was gonna buy this house, and then a relative gave us a gift. It wasn't expecting it, wasn't asking for it, but a relative gave us a gift and we were able to buy our house. We had no idea how we were going to do it. We just, we knew this is what we wanted and we were just open to however it was going to come. And I thought that was just a beautiful, magical story. And I've gotten my wishes, not how I thought I would. There's been several times where I'm like, I really want this in my life. And how I got that was not how I thought I was going to get it. I was like, oh, I need like even like losing weight. Just for example, I thought, okay, losing weight. I gotta, count my calories and do this and do that and all these other things. And really, it was just as simple as I made one simple tweak to my diet and I just went for walks. It wasn't a vigorous thing. Like I was watching all these videos and getting all this anxiety and having all this control about how I needed to lose weight. And really, it was just like a couple of simple tweaks. And I wasn't even my thought process. I was just like, I'm going to go for more walks because that's relaxing to me. And really, that was the trick for me. And I just need to tweak this one thing in my diet because I like eating that better. And it worked for me. It was a very simple thing, and it was not how I was expecting for that manifestation to come in, for that mock-up to come in. That was not how I was expecting it. It was like, I need to go lift weights every day, and I need to like really run.
Yeah, that's a big thing, is kind of dropping the expectations about how it should arrive in your life, how it will manifest. We have expectations come up for all sorts of things, just expectations of the day or whatever it is, weddings like that, or holidays or whatever, certain special occasions, there's maybe more energy or attention on those expectations. And
that's why they're always a disappointment.
Yeah, so you have this image in your mind of how it has to go according to you, and then oops, that experience doesn't go as planned as you wanted to. And so the thing is, if you can let these expectations go and you can just kind of allow yourself to experience the moment, the experience as it is, maybe a little more with ease and grace, and maybe just more enjoyment, perhaps. Who knows? Depends on the experience. But
Is there anything else about control we want to talk about?
I feel like this is one of those topics that can go on and on.
Yeah.
But we like to keep these kind of episodes short and digestible, and
Because our life is busy, and I'm sure yours is too.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, we'll kind of just choose topics to kind of talk about. Might not talk about them in full length. We might talk about them in further episodes, but we'll kind of, discuss different topics. And we got many topics to talk about. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I can talk. So.
That's also why we keep the episodes short. Now,
Of course.
if you have any questions, put them in the comment section down below. Like this video, share this video to other people that you may think it will resonate with. Subscribe if you want to keep listening to us. If not, hey, cool, keep scrolling on. Find some other people that you prefer listening to. It's all cool here. If you want to check out our website for our classes, it's denverpsychicschool.com. And if you want to read a little more about our personal stories there as well, he and I are on there. And if you want to schedule a reading in person or online, we're both available on there as well.
Yeah. We're doing psychic readings, aura readings. We're doing
Healings.
energy healings, like basic ones, astral body type healings, that impact the dream space and sleep. So we got some basic classes. And then we got some various type of, actually we've got quite a few trainings here that we offer. Explore the website. If you've got any questions, reach out. We do offer free meet and greets. So if you have questions and a little unsure, want to get to know us, feel free to sign up for that. So I hope this was entertaining and insightful in some way. That's the goal, right?
Hopefully we helped. And if not, that's okay.
Yeah. So, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again.